Hey my darlings, it's DarlingDTarot bringing you another pick a card reading. So for today we are going to be getting right into this and asking the question, what do your spirit guides want you to know? If they could say anything to you right now, what would it be? What sort of advice would they give you as well? So going forward, we have three beautiful piles here. We have stack 1, stack 2, and stack 3. Now you can choose just one pile or you can choose all three, whatever you feel drawn towards, because there's going to be a lot of different messages in each stack. So maybe you're going to hold on to a few little pieces of advice here, but then really want to go to this pile as well. You know, just sort of go wherever you are drawn to with your intuition. And yeah, so for the piles for stack 1, we have this beautiful Pisces pin. It has two little fish on it. For stack 2, we have this lyre. For stack 3, we have this sort of a centaur, archer, Sagittarius pin as well. So you can choose based off of the item in front of each pile. You can choose based off of the number of each pile, or also just the energy that you feel of each pile. So again, we have 1, 2, and 3. So let's take a deep breath in. Let's hold it. And release. And with that, I will give you a few seconds to make your choice, and then I will see you at your pick. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 1. Let's get right into your reading and see what do your spirit guides want you to know. So starting off with your first card, this is your Messenger Oracle card, and this is just going over a main energy that they want you to utilize. So we have number 35, Seek the Lesson. Now I absolutely love this card because this is talking about how everything happens for a reason. Even if the reason is a little unknown or things are a little bit foggy to us at that certain moment, they are going to make sense in the future. Everything is going to align perfectly, almost like a puzzle piece in a way. You know, no stone is going to be left unturned. And the things that you learn today are really going to be things that you can utilize tomorrow in order to help you and in order to kind of achieve where it is that you want to go. Because the number 35, you know, that's very reminiscent of the number 8 if we were to add those up. And the number 8 and the number 6 are both very strong manifestor numbers for me personally. I love those numbers for manifesting. So you guys might be very heavily into the law of attraction. You guys definitely know what it is that you want to go towards, or you're feeling very determined to want to know what it is that you want to go towards in a way, you know? You're very much looking forward to the future and you're wanting to plant the seeds today instead of like a week from now, you know, so that you can gain the rewards and the fruits of your labor that much faster in a sense. But your guides also want you to know that you're always growing, you're always adapting, and you're always changing. So don't let yourself get too frustrated or too stagnant, you know, especially if things aren't going at the rate that you wish that they would. Just make sure to kind of bring the manifestations in using the law of attraction. You can have a manifestation journal. You could also just sort of have a vision board, maybe even use Pinterest, things along those lines to really get you excited for different goals and the things that you want to have. You know, you might even have a travel list. Maybe you write down and say, hey, I want to go to Hawaii and I want to go to Japan and I want to go here and there and I want to go to Greece. You know, like there are so many places that you could go. So why not at least make a fun little list and a little inspirational area even on your phone or maybe even on a poster board and keep it in your room to look at. I think that is so beautiful. You know, some of the most successful people in the world have vision boards, and it really has helped them to bring everything that they want into their life, to be honest. But definitely make sure to just continue going to your goals like fearlessly, just really also excitedly, and don't be scared to go alone, because we have this wolf here, and it really makes me think of that lone wolf energy. Don't be scared to achieve your goals by yourself. Sometimes people will be in and out of your life. Sometimes people aren't meant to stay, and that might be a really hard lesson for us to really understand and for us to grasp, because we want these people to stay in our lives, especially if they mean a lot to us or they're very significant to us, you know? But sometimes people are just in our lives for the moment in order to have us grow, you know, and achieve that next level of knowingness and understanding as well. People can really kind of open up and expand our knowingness and open us up to things that we didn't even know before or we didn't even think about. So I think that that's really wonderful. Make sure that you don't close yourself off to new connections or to new people as well, because they're really going to help you. And you're really going to kind of grow a lot over the next few years. So kind of buckle up, you know, and then start really trying to manifest. So moving on to your next card, this is going to be your angel therapy card. And we have manifestation power. Woohoo! See how we were just talking about manifestations, but it says, use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. How awesome is this card? So this is really saying to put out, you know, grateful vibes, very thankful vibes as well. Say to the universe, thank you for all that I have today. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for food to eat. Thank you for a full stomach. Just little things like that, you know, sometimes we can really overlook or we can forget about, but they are truly blessings in our lives. And they are things that we really have to be happy and be very grateful that we have, because there are a lot of people who don't have as much as us. There are people who are a lot less fortunate. So you have to be happy for all that we have, and then the universe is going to give you more. It's going to notice that you're really appreciating what you have. It's sort of like when a child is taking really good care of their toys. You know, the mom is going to kind of be like, oh, hey, buddy, do you want a new toy since you're taking care of that so good? You know, it's just sort of like responsibility in the universe's eyes. You know, if you were to look at the universe like a mother, you know, look at it that way, in a sense that the universe is looking after you and it's just responding to what you're putting out there. If you are kind of being negative or not really being grateful for the things that you have, you're not going to receive more. Because you have to understand that you have to be happy with what you have now. Because it might not seem like a lot to you because it's something that you're very used to, but to an outsider looking in, perhaps that's something that they've always wanted. You know, perhaps someone who's always wanted a phone, or someone who, you know, maybe is just very hungry that night. So there are a lot of things to be grateful for, and just make sure to start there, to put out a lot of positive energy as well. You don't have to be positive 24/7. I don't think that that's something that is normal or something that people can do all the time. You know, and if you can, I don't know, teach me that trick. Because you have to feel your emotions. You have to go through that. You have to really understand where you're coming from and what you're feeling at that time as well. But especially with him carrying the torch here, this angel, it makes me think that you have a lot of goals that you're trying to strive towards and you're trying to go towards. And this is also giving me hermit vibes of saying, don't feel afraid to go alone towards your goals. I know that I said that with this card, but it's really making me think it in this card as well. The fact that he is also alone, it's just sort of this, you are your own best friend in a sense. So, you know, and also the universe is, and your spirit guides, if there are times when you're feeling a little low, you know, feel those emotions, feel that, you know, those vibes as well, but make sure to ask your spirit guides and ask your archangels and whoever you might work with, say, can you please cancel out any negative energy that I might put out into the universe sort of unknowingly or maybe even knowingly, but make sure that you do cancel it out and understand that when things don't really go our way or work out on the plan that we've kind of scoped out for ourselves, especially if we're someone who is very overanalyzing of things, you know, not everything is going to go as planned. And that is completely okay. That's what makes life so exciting. That's what makes life kind of mysterious as well. And it kind of keeps you on your toes. So make sure to just kind of expect that you're going to get everything that you want, but don't be waiting for it. You know, keep striving forward, because if he were to just wait here all day, let's say he's in the Olympics, right? And he's supposed to light the big torch. Like, he has the tiny torch right now that's going to light the big bowl, and he's running towards that. And then he stops and he's like, hey, it's all right. I'm not going to tag in my next teammate. Maybe they'll just come to me. But the teammate is like a ways away. So everyone's just like staring like, what are you doing, Michael? Why are you just standing there? Why aren't you running to your friend Jacob or whatever? And no one understands. And that's really what the universe is saying. Don't put yourself at a standstill. Don't expect the universe to kind of do everything for you. I don't want to like come off as really harsh. But sometimes we really need that little kick in the butt to say like, hey, the universe isn't going to handle just about everything. Just like, that mother analogy, your mother isn't going to handle everything in your life, especially after a certain age. So really make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your responsibilities and going towards the things that you want in a very positive way. You can also use binaurals, subliminals, and manifestation journals and vision boards. But make sure that you're really just going towards your goals in a very determined light and a very positive energy as well. If you're feeling a little down in the dumps, and this is a hobby that you're even pursuing, that you're trying to bring into a career for some of you, don't bring this into your space of work. You know what I'm saying? Clear yourself, do even a 5-minute meditation before you go into work, just so that you don't bring that into your life. I also want to say for the people who are trying to manifest more money, not only using the affirmation, I am financially abundant in my bank account, will work beautifully, but also adding cinnamon to your wallet. I absolutely love that. I add it to my wallet and also my purse. It's just a little added way to kind of bring in those blessings a little more. But yeah, I thought that I would bring that up. So yeah, just keep working with the law of attraction and keep working towards your goals. So moving forward onto your next card, this is your Sacred World card. And we have Chimera. Woohoo! And this is talking all about how you have to kind of be aligned with yourself when you're going towards your goals. You are someone who's very passionate. You're someone who kind of wants to get everything achieved now or even yesterday. Maybe you just kind of want everything to be done and you could just sort of bask in the fruits of your labor and kind of enjoy your harvest. But there is a lot of roads that you have to go down, and you might have to do this alone. You know how we were talking about that earlier? Well, especially with this is talking about how they're all blended in, to at least me looking at this, you don't understand where one ends and where the other begins. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at that. It is so nicely blended in. And this is really, kind of a message from your spirit guides, especially saying to really be in alignment with yourself, really understand yourself, your emotions, and every part of you. Some of you might even have to do some shadow work is kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this card, but really go towards your goals very determinedly. Don't let people kind of push you aside or put you to the back burner or, poo-poo your goals, because your goals are very legitimate. They're very worth waiting for, and not even worth waiting for, but very much worth going towards and worth pursuing. I think that this is even saying to not be scared, that maybe other people are going to be intimidated by you because you have such a wonderful work ethic. You have such a wonderful way about you and such just a determined energy. Some of you might even be, fire signs, just because we have so much kind of fiery, passionate energy here, but you don't have to be. But with this card as well, it's really just saying to understand your emotions and understand what you're feeling that day. This goes hand in hand with manifestation power. Really understand what you're putting out into the universe, because that's what you're going to get back in a sense. So let's move on to your next card, and this is your Secrets of the Mystic Grove card, and we have number 37, Serenity, Compassion, Acceptance, and Contentment. So for now, you just have to sort of be happy with where you are and what you have. And I know that's a little frustrating. I know you don't really want to come to my videos and hear that. I love you guys though, honestly. But this is really just saying to go with the flow and just accept things for how they are. Things are going to get a lot better, but just enjoy where you are right now, because one day you're going to either be very overworked or you're going to just be in a very different scenario, and you might look back on where you are now very fondly. It won't be you looking back and feeling turmoil or feeling sad, because you're going to understand, you're going to have sought out the lesson here. You're going to really understand why you had to go through this cycle in your life and why you're going through everything that you are. You're really going to get rid of blockages, but during this time, you really have to focus on yourself, maybe also incorporating a little bit more self-care and self-love into your routines. Really understand that you have to water yourself as well. Really what you put in, you're going to shine on the outside too. People are really going to pick up on that as well. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're drinking enough water, you're getting enough sleep at night, you're maybe even washing your face before you go to bed or in the morning, or, just doing little things that make you feel very snazzy and very good. It could be anything. It could even be like eating Hot Pockets in the morning. I don't mind, but whatever makes you feel happy, you go for it. But definitely just kind of seek your own serenity, seek your own happiness in a sense, your own paradise. So moving forward on to your next two cards, these are your animal totem cards, and these are going over two energies that your spirit guides really want you to utilize during this time. And in your case, this is kind of during this time of really understanding where it is that you want to go and achieving it and going towards it fearlessly. So we have the Five of Wands and the Devil. Okay, so the Five of Wands, this badger has been coming out a lot in my videos. So maybe there's someone who has been picking the badger that just isn't utilizing this energy yet. I'm not sure. But your guides are really saying that they want you to be a little bit more like you just don't care. You don't care what anyone is saying about you, what anyone is thinking about you either. You have to kind of be in this mindset of other people's opinions about me are not my business. That's their thoughts. That's their worry. That's their concern to not like me. It's not necessarily saying that you have to be ruthless, but you really have to look out for yourself and you have to go towards your goals and what it is that you want. You can't kind of be living for other people. I feel like for a select few of you, that's really going to resonate. Maybe you're people pleasers. And for right now, it's kind of a confusing time in life because you're understanding, hey, I want to achieve these goals. I want to go towards all of these new things, but I also don't want to inconvenience my friends. I don't want to inconvenience my family. But you're really going to have to understand that saying no isn't an inconvenience. Saying no is protecting your energy. Saying no is simply stepping away and saying, hey, I can't do that. I respect that you want me to help you, but no. Because especially with this Devil card, this is really talking about how we have these traps here that represent the hunters wanting to capture this bobcat, because this bobcat is capturing all the rabbits and the rabbit hunters. Now, they're both, I guess from their own perspective, they see each other as wrong. Now, I see the hunters as particularly wrong because he has as much of a right getting him, as the other way around. So really understand that and put that into your energy that you also have to look out for yourself. And looking after yourself isn't the same thing as hurting other people. Sometimes people are they're either narcissists or, they're just ruthless. They're just rude. They want you to do their work for them. And I think that you really have to understand you have to go towards the things that you want. Sometimes you have to sort of go towards the kill in a sense and kind of take that into the bag. But you have to defend yourself. For a lot of you, I don't want to say that you're doormats, but I definitely think that at times you can be a little bit of a pushover, which I completely understand. I also struggle with that. But you have to really know that people aren't going to hate you for saying no. People aren't going to be disgusted either. And if people are, they aren't someone that you want in your life. Let me tell you that right now. Because there's someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. There's someone who doesn't respect how you're feeling. And there's someone who ultimately doesn't respect you. So what you want is you want people in your life who are going to respect you and who are going to understand why you're going towards the goals that you want. It's going to be a little bit of a change, especially with this 5 here. It's really saying that your guides are acknowledging, hey, you might have to make some big changes. It might feel a little frustrating. It might feel a little trapping as well. But it's something that you have to do every now and again. Think of it as spring cleaning. And here in the States, we are just about ready to go into the spring. So, I think that that's really wonderful timing. But just go towards the things that you really want very passionately, very excitedly. And, I really feel like you're going to achieve all that you want. But don't be scared to say no to people. Don't be scared to tell people like, hey, I can't be doing all of my work and all of your work too. That's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. So going on to your next 4 cards, these are your Unicorn Tarot cards. So we have the Ace of Rods, followed by the Justice card, the 10 of Rods in reverse, and the 6 of Cups in reverse. I'm actually going to move them down here. There you go. Beautiful. Okay. So with the Ace of Rods, this is really saying that you are going to feel renewed. You're going to feel very passionate, and you're going to want to almost reach out, take that unicorn horn, and like conquer the 9 realms. I mean, maybe not that drastic, but you're going to feel really good, like extraordinarily good. And with this Justice card, it's really kind of going back to that first oracle, really saying everything happens for a reason and everything happens the way that it's supposed to. So don't stress about it too much. You're really going to feel like everything balances out when you get to where it is that you want to be. But you're really going to understand what it is that you want to pursue, whether that be traveling wise or whether that also be career, maybe even hobbies as well. But you're going to feel very renewed. You're going to be feeling like people are handing you this kind of universal gift of passion and time even, in order to do your hobbies, because you're not going to have as many burdens. Especially with this 10 of Rods here in reverse, it's saying like you putting your foot down and saying no to people is really going to free your time up a little bit, and it's going to really protect your energy. You're not going to feel as exhausted. So really make sure to remember that as well, that saying no isn't being mean, it's not being rude, but it's kind of just protecting yourself and looking after yourself. Look at that as a form of self-care. Now, this isn't saying say no to every single thing, but if you feel like you can't do it, if you feel like you already have enough on your plate and you just can't take any more, don't do it, kind of focus on your own things and your own kind of struggles that are going on. But especially with the 6 of Cups in reverse, it's saying you might have to kind of go a little bit away from some friends, or some people who don't have your best interest at heart. It might even be people that you have reconciled with in the past because they've brought a little bit of drama to your life. But especially with this 10 of Rods in reverse, it's saying like, hey, you aren't going to have to worry about that anymore. And you're kind of coming out of this daydreamy energy. You're coming into sort of the reality of every situation, and you're really taking off the rose-colored glasses, I guess in a sense would be the best way of putting it. You're really seeing things for how they are and what they could also become in the future. It's no longer you looking at life like, you have blockages or life is a little bit of a struggle at times. You're really going to understand that life is kind of like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, but ultimately it's very fun, and we can choose kind of what roller coaster we want to be on depending on if we can utilize the law of attraction, and really look after ourselves and kind of hold ourselves to that accountability as well. Because I also see that with justice is, maybe you're complaining to other people and saying like, hey, this person is very rude to me. They're kind of ruthless. They're kind of, not necessarily annoying, but they're just rude to you. I think that they're kind of a toxic energy, and especially with the devil having come out. But this is really saying, you're not putting up with that. You're not going to deal with that. You're going to kind of rid yourself of all of those energies. It's going to be a little bit of work. It's going to feel a little frustrating and a little scary too. Not gonna lie, but you're going to have to see things for how they really are. Like I was saying, if you're complaining to a friend and you're saying, hey, this person's really rude, you have to go forward and cut this person out. You can't just keep telling people, hey, I really don't like this person, or, even your family members. It doesn't even have to be other friends, but maybe even just gossiping to your other family members and saying like, hey, this person's very rude to me. And all of your family members are like, well, then delete them, block them, and there's only so much that everyone else can say. So this is really saying to you that you have to understand that keeping people in your life is ultimately up to you, and it's your choice. If it's affecting how you're feeling, if it's affecting, your happiness as well, and you feel very burdened by these people or these circumstances or situations, get out of there. You aren't bound. The only person that you are bound to is yourself. But don't be rude about it. Be very respectful as well. Because with the Justice card, I'm also thinking of karma and like what goes around comes around. And this is also for good karma as well. It's not just bad karma, so when we do something nice, it always comes back for us tenfold. So always just kind of keep that in mind as well, not to put up with things that you really don't want to. So moving on to your last card, and then we will get into your tea leaf tarot cards. We have the Empress. So this is the overall energy that your spirit guides want you to utilize and bring into your life. So they want you to feel very confident. They want you to feel like you can stand on your own and that you don't need to rely on other people. They want you to know that you're very strong. You're very, you have the ability to be very, very self-reliant and very independent. And they really enjoy that. You're very strong-willed. And I think that at times, you're very nurturing, you're very compassionate, you're very caring, but you have to understand that some people are kind of using that, and some people can kind of utilize that to the extremes in a sense, almost like energy vampirism, and with this card, this is really saying you don't have to put all of your walls up, but you can look at people with that sort of skepticism sort of a face right there. See her face? She's just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, keep talking. Keep telling me about that story, Jan. Okay, yeah, I hear you. And that's really what your guides are saying, that you are so abundant, you are so successful on your own, and you have so much kind of successes in the future and so much abundance waiting for you that it would be a shame to waste it on other people and on people who don't really care, I guess, in a sense, would be the best way to put it. So moving on to your tea leaf tarot cards, we have the Wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So maybe that's why we have all of these manifestation cards and all of these cards saying that you have to get aligned with yourself and understand what it is that you want to go towards and where it is that you want to be. Maybe for some of you, you're kind of at like a dead-end job, I suppose you might call it, to like your other friends or relatives. You might not like it because maybe the pay isn't good, or maybe you just feel very exhausted, so you're going to really understand what it is that you're very passionate about over the next year or two, and you're really going to try to utilize that, maybe even switch career, because you don't want things to just ramble on and on and on. You don't want to be caught in this endless cycle as well. You want things to change. And change for the better. So next we have dog barking, advice from a friend. So, this could be, maybe even a friend saying like, hey, maybe you should pursue a different career. Maybe someone is going to kind of offer you a career opportunity. That would be pretty cool. So Unicorn says, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Here we go. So use your intuition and your gut to know really what it is that you want to go towards. And, you really can't be led astray. Really grab that unicorn horn and say like, hey, I'm going to achieve all of my goals. I'm going to be like having the ultimate happiness this year. It's going to be great. So next we have Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Okay, so remember how I was saying, like, especially with this 10 of Rods, that someone's kind of putting all their work and all their burdens onto you? This could even be emotional burdens. Maybe someone is like a friend, but they only talk to you to complain anymore. And you're just sort of like, hey, are we friends? Are we friends at this point? Or am I just someone you talk to now about like bad things that happen, or something along those lines, kind of swaying your emotions and making you kind of feel drained. And, you're constantly picking them up, but then when you need to go and get help as well, it's just not coming out the same way. But this might even be, maybe you get advice from a friend and maybe it's not good advice. Maybe it's someone trying to convince you to do something, maybe it's something not so good as well. But make sure that you understand where people are coming from, especially with their energy, because energy can be really, really hardcore, So next we have Chair Empty. Someone is leaving your life. Oh my goodness. So yeah, maybe that's why as well we have these two cards together, the 10 of Rods and the 6 of Cups, both in reverse. Maybe that's why that they're leaving. You're no longer going to kind of give them these chances anymore, and you're going to say like, hey, you keep hurting my feelings, you're being very rude to me, maybe even someone who just kind of steps on your feelings all the time. That's not good, dude. So next we have Wind Chimes, peace and harmony. Oh my goodness, I love how it goes from chair empty and then suddenly it's like peace and harmony, happiness, It's kind of like breathing a sigh of relief, or like, I know this is kind of graphic, but maybe when like you're constipated for a while and then you finally go to the bathroom, that sort of a feeling, like just relief. You're feeling very good. I know that feeling after surgeries, but you're feeling very peaceful. You're feeling very happy, and you're feeling like, hey, nothing can really go wrong right now. Ant, work, achievement, and success. Woohoo! Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so, this is really talking about what you put in, you're going to reap the rewards from. So really keep that in mind. Really work hard. Don't worry about, everyone who's going to be in your life with you, because I know this chair empty can be a little like anxiety provoking. So don't worry about that too much right now. Just kind of focus on what it is that you want to achieve and focus on your goals, because you will be having a lot of relief. It's going to be feeling really, really good too. You're going to be feeling like you can finally breathe again. Like people have lifted cinder blocks off of your literal chest. You're like, you're gasping for breath. You're just then enjoying your day as well. Because wind chimes are so peaceful. It makes me think of a really nice breezy day under a nice tree or something. So next we have yoke. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. So this might be why we have chair empty and all of these other things, because it is a little frustrating. But especially with, working hard, you can feel like things aren't moving as fast as you want them to. Maybe you feel like you're a little bit stagnant as well. And maybe at times you'll even be thinking of this person and saying like, hey, was I wrong to remove them from my life? Was I wrong to feel a little bit of relief for them leaving? Was I wrong for, kind of looking out for myself first and feeling selfish? But this is really saying that this is normal. This is just sort of life. Really understand what this is, though, in your life. What is tying you down? What is making you feel heavy? What is making you still feel frustrated and like a weight? So next we have older woman. Dealings or relationship with an older woman. Okay, so two different things here. Oh my goodness. So for some of you, maybe it's like a mom or like a sister or, like a grandma or something that you're just like, they're very, very rude to you. You know what I mean? Like there's no respect. And maybe that's why. Maybe they're going to be leaving. Maybe for some of you, an older figure in your life is going to be passing away, and that's going to really frustrate you. And I don't know about you guys, but when people that I have loved have passed away, I'm not going to cry, have passed away from my life, I have kind of sat down and I've understood like, I have wasted so much time worrying about other people and worrying about people who don't even care about me or people who are rude about me. Maybe this is going to affect you so profoundly in that way, someone leaving your life, and you're going to kind of say, why am I worrying about this person? Why am I worrying about this person who is trying to give me their problems, who is trying to make me feel very bad when I could have been putting all that energy towards the people that I really love, when I could be putting that energy towards the people who are there for me, for the people who have always been there for me. That sort of a feeling. And I'm sorry to get really like feelingsy there, but maybe for some of you, you really needed to hear that, and I know that's kind of serious, but honestly, let's have that feelings jam together. Let's have this talk. But definitely be gentle with yourself during the situation. It'll be very frustrating and it'll feel kind of low. It'll feel kind of sad as well. But really understand that everything is happening for a reason, and your past loved ones are still on the other side looking out for you. They're always there for you. Talk to them, still talk to them. They're not ever gone. They're always helping you on the other side to achieve your goals and to give you that kind of courage to go towards the things that you really, really want and want to achieve. So again, work really hard towards your goals. Don't worry about other people. You're going to achieve peace and harmony. Regardless of what all is going on here, you're going to make the beneficial changes needed, and then you're going to have a lot of harmony. Now, this doesn't have to also represent that someone from your life is going to pass on. It could just even be that, maybe you cut off ties with a family member, or, maybe even just an older friend or something along those lines. But it might leave you a little frustrated. It might leave you feeling a little down and a little just sad. So don't worry too much. Everything will happen in divine timing, and everything will happen the way that it's supposed to. For now, just focus on yourself and focus on the people that truly care about you and the people that you really love. Because let me say this, especially with tarot, certain circumstances can be completely avoided as long as we take the lessons into account. If we're really learning from them and we're really utilizing the messages, there, can be ways that we can get around this completely. Maybe right now you'll say, okay, well, I'll focus on the people that I do love and I do care about and that I know care about me, instead of focusing on these people who, are rude or who are going to cause you drama in the future or going to try to make you do something against your will. break out of that. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this stack one, and let me know in the comments what's going on. There's a lot of messages in this for you guys, so I'm sorry it was all over the place and it got a little serious in there, but I think that we needed to have that talk. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think. And if you like this video, make sure to press like down below and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the little bell icon next to that to be notified whenever I post a new video as well. And also, I have all my links in my description box down below. I have my Patreon, my Etsy, and things like that. Also, make sure to comment. I love reading from you guys and hearing from you guys and reading your stories. Oh my goodness, I love you guys so much, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I hope that this didn't get too serious. I tried to keep this upbeat, but yeah, that is tarot sometimes. So just try to utilize the messages, and yeah, I hope it resonated. But I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 2. Let's get right into your reading and see what do your spirit guides want you to know. So starting off with your first card, this is your messenger oracle card, and we have number 29, Nourish the Soul. Now this is a really awesome card because this is saying to really enjoy every moment that you are alive, because there are so many different things to enjoy and to really appreciate about our earth as well. Whether that be whatever we're drinking, whatever we're eating, or just whatever we're viewing visually, there are so many wonderful sights to see and to experience on this planet. You know, whether that just be going to a botanical garden and experiencing all the different colors and smells in there, as well as all of the different insects and all of the creatures that kind of congregate in there, or, you know, just kind of going out and being a foodie and experiencing new foods and having a good time, but really understand what it is that really makes you excited about being alive and about being on our earth. Because if we were to look at our earth from a very intergalactic point of view, if you will, our earth is very unique. It's very different from every other planet that is out there. You know, it has its own things that it can provide to us. So really go out there and explore and enjoy being alive, enjoy being here, because maybe even for some of you, you know, you feel a little bit down, you feel a little bit sad even, or a little bit hopeless, maybe those who pick this pile. So this is really saying to feel a little bit at ease. You know, I know it's easier said than done, but really go into that peaceful spot. You know, what makes you feel very happy? What makes you feel aligned? What makes you feel excited about being on this planet? So go from there. And especially with the number 29, if we added that up, it would be 11. And that makes me think of wishes. It makes me think of also being balanced in yourself enough to know what it is that you want and what it is that you really like on this planet. So moving forward, this is your angel therapy card, and we have God box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be called a God box either. It could be called a worry box, a trouble box, any sort of a box, really. It doesn't even have to be a box. It could be a jar, it could be a cup, whatever fits for you. But what you should do is, at the end of the day, if you've had a particularly stressful day, or maybe even if you've had a kind of a restless night of sleep, or you've had very bad dreams, go and take a moment to yourself, to find like maybe even a quiet space where you can sit down and write all your thoughts down, write down the situation, the circumstance, and everything that's going on, and go from there. You know, write it down and say to yourself, after I put this into this box, into this jar, what have you, I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm going to clear myself of that energy, and, you know, I'm going to have a good rest of the day or a good rest of the night. I'm going to sleep very easy, and I'm going to be very happy. You could even imagine putting it in the jar or in the box, and in a guided meditation, see a dove come down and pick up your messages and take it up to the heavens, you know, as a way of fully letting go of it. Because your guides want you to focus on your achievements, on the things that you are really looking forward to as well. They don't want you to focus on the things that are unsavory or the things that are kind of leaving a bad taste in your mouth. They want you to be very happy. They want you to feel very at peace as well, because I'm being drawn to this kind of little dove/pigeon that's here, you know, and it's very much bringing her a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. and she's extending this bowl to it. It's just so wonderful. I absolutely love this card. So really make sure that you're being vulnerable and letting yourself kind of open up to your spirit guides and kind of feel vulnerable enough to be able to write it down on paper. Maybe for some of you, journaling would even really help a lot. That might be a really, really wonderful way to utilize that technique, and to just say to yourself, once I'm done writing it down in my journal, I'm not going to worry about it again. So moving forward onto your Sacred World card, oh my goodness, we have Dove. Look at that, 2 doves. So your spirit guides definitely want you to have peace in your life. They want you to have happiness. They want you to just sort of have acceptance too. Things are not all as they seem, especially if things are a little bit rough or a little bit rocky at, this point in time. There is land up ahead, because if we were to really look at this card, it's kind of like the Bible story Noah's Ark, where the dove comes back with a little olive branch and is saying, hey, there's land, and it's really happy. It's really exciting. That's why I really love these cards, because it goes over all kinds of different stories and mythologies as well. Love these cards. But, it's really saying to you and signifying this isn't always going to be how things are all the time. This is very temporary. So really enjoy where you are right now. Enjoy the friends that you have. Enjoy the times outside, like even in the sun that you can have. When you feel the sun hit your skin, enjoy that. When you feel maybe a nice breeze on a nice cool day, enjoy that as well. There are so many things that we can sort of find gratitude in on this planet, and really find peace in as well. Maybe for some of you, even meditating, maybe in an open field or in your backyard would be something very beautiful for you. Maybe just hearing birds as well. Birds might be very meditative for you. Maybe even bird watching would be a really good hobby to sort of take up. But make sure that you're really going outside a lot more, because really all of these cards, these animals and this lady are all outside. So really make sure that you're going outside, that you're enjoying everything that life has to offer as well. So moving forward onto your next card, this is your Secrets of the Mystic Grove card, and we have number 44, Rhythms. Groundedness, nature, and earth. Oh my gosh, we were just talking about going outside and being in nature and being with the earth. Ground yourself. Really make sure that, how some people will take their shoes off and they'll do like earthing, really do that. Feel very comfortable in nature as well, whether that just be going out in your backyard and setting down a towel even, and just even sunbathing. Just enjoy your day. Enjoy the fresh air outside as well. It will help you to feel very uplifted and help you to feel very happy. You don't even have to go outside as much, if that's not really your thing, I guess, just open your windows more. Get some fresh air in your house, really blow, all that nice fresh air and that fresh breeze in, and all of like the stagnant air out of your house. But that'll be really, really good for you. I'm just seeing like flowers especially, and with it being almost springtime, maybe visiting gardens, maybe even planting your own garden would be something very meditative and something very good for you. It would be a very wonderful hobby to even pursue or to take up. So yeah, really just kind of go out in nature and be one with it, be very excited for all of the beautiful gifts that we have as well, because how cool to go out in nature and just to be able to see bees at work, to see them working so hard with all the pollens on their back and like seeing pollen on their little feet. Oh my gosh, it's just those little joys in life that make life very much worth living. And especially watching like flowers grow, watching them develop and get a little bud on them and then see them slowly open up. That is such a lovely experience, and it's so nice to share it with these creatures that are so much like us and these beings as well. So really be at one with the earth. So moving forward on to your animal totem cards, these are just going over different energies that your spirit guides think that you should kind of utilize and bring into your life. We have the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Swords. So this is dragonfly energy and also echidna energy. So here's the deal, they want you to definitely understand that you have a lot of options here. You have a lot of happiness on the horizon, and you have a lot of good fortune on the horizon as well. And I think that that's something really to look forward to. But make sure that you understand that you have a lot of blessings as is already. And I think that that's very reminiscent of deck one. So maybe if you, are drawn to this stack, maybe also check out that first stack as well. But you definitely are someone who's very sentimental. I think the people that pick this stack try to find the beauty in every circumstance, and your guides are really saying not necessarily be on defense or be on guard, but be a little weary. Don't just trust things at face value, especially if someone's telling you it. Don't just kind of take people's words for it. Do the research yourself, do the critical thinking, and really put your mind into it. Use your intelligence and really go into a sort of meditative state as well. You can sort of remove yourself for a while, especially with, the summertime. Maybe in the summertime, go out and spend time at the beach or spend time in the desert. I don't know. But go wherever you feel very drawn to. Travel. I feel like for some of you who picked this pile, you're definitely going to be traveling. You're going to be wanting to accomplish those goals and those dreams. And maybe even with the God box, really go towards that as a manifesting ability as well. Really utilize that in a sense and say like, hey, I'm also going to not only put my worries and things like that in, but I'm also going to kind of make them a little bit equaled out, make it a little bit more balanced by also putting in my own manifestations and putting in the things that I want to achieve. It would be really wonderful to list the things as well that you're very thankful for, the things that make you feel very at peace. It would be wonderful to even have a list and say like, hey, I enjoy that, I have this quality about myself. I have this quality about myself. I enjoy this about myself. Make a list on just self things that you love. Make a list on things maybe that you own that you love. Just all kinds of things. Just be very, very grateful. Every day maybe make a new list, or every week even. You don't have to even be like doing it every single day. Just make sure that you are putting the effort in so that, because I don't know, I just feel like a lot of you would really, really do good with journaling. Maybe even journaling in nature. And for some of you, even getting a sketchbook would be something so awesome. Oh my goodness. Getting one of those little traveling sketchbooks and going out into nature and kind of learning how to draw plants and flowers and birds and insects just off of looking at them. And insects, they're so much more receptive than we give them credit for. Me and my sister, we love standing outside and going, "Hi, dragonfly," and then they'll come buzzing right back around. It's hilarious. If you guys have a chance, do it. They're so proud. I love dragonflies, but make sure to also have that energy, that very proud energy of you can go anywhere. You're very fast, you're very focused, and you're very determined. So make sure that you aren't kind of skimping out on yourself as well. Make sure you're always giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and always kind of going towards every situation with a little bit of healthy skepticism, but also going towards every situation just so happy to be alive. Kind of bring back that childhood innocence and that playfulness, that maybe we kind of forget in adulthood or as we grow up. And with it being number 44 for rhythms, I just want to go back to this for a minute. That would be number 8. And this is really talking about that you are also trying to manifest things into your life. So yeah, maybe watching stack 1 would be really awesome for you guys. But I feel like you guys are very grounded. You guys are very determined and you know what it is that you want to achieve. But maybe for some of you, you do have a lot of options or you're going to have them coming in. And your guides are going to say, hey, it might be a little confusing because every option on the table is going to seem so ideal for you. It's going to seem like something that can bring you ultimate peace. So realistically, the choice is completely up to you. We all have free will to make the ultimate decision of where we want to go in life, but make sure to gauge it off of what is going to bring you peace as opposed to what's going to make you the most money or what's going to be this or that. Go off of what you could do every day for career or what you could do every day for study for university. But really go towards your passions as well and the things that really uplift you and make you feel very good inside. Because those are the days that, it'll feel like that nice breezy day where everything's happy, it's so warm and sunny and the sun is on your skin and it just feels so nice out. It'll be like one of those days, and you'll be like, wow, I have so many options. I have so many things to kind of be thankful for and grateful for. And I think that you could even write them then into your God box. But yeah, so make sure that you're spending a lot of time out in nature. Even take time for yourself. That's also akin to energy for me, at least. It's kind of that energy of just taking time for yourself. Very slow and steady wins the race. Almost kind of like tortoise energy in that sense. But really know like what it is that makes you very happy. If you like a certain anime, or you like a certain, maybe a superhero movie, or maybe you like Marvel more than DC or whatever, but go towards those movies, go towards the things that you like, spend time doing the things that you like and pursuing those things, because it won't lead you astray. So moving on to your next 4 cards, these are your Unicorn Tarot cards, and these are just some more messages from your spirit guides on the current situation. So we have the Page of Swords in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the Two of Rods. All right, so here's the deal. Your guides are really saying that you're not necessarily speaking your truth. You're not necessarily having a form of clarity here. And maybe it's because you aren't allowing yourself to just go into a meditative state. Maybe that's why they're saying, get out of your house, get out of your head as well. Stop just going to work and then going home, or going to school, going home, or just staying home. Just stop, go out into not necessarily the wilderness. You don't have to go become a wilderness expert. You don't have to become like a wildlife ranger there. That's what I was trying to say. Maybe for some of you, you will become a wildlife ranger or expert, but for some of you, just hang out for the day. Just get away for a little bit, whether that be a few hours or for the whole day, or maybe even the weekend. But make sure that you're taking the time for yourself to really rest, relax, and to find clarity and inner wisdom and inner peace as well. Because the Hanged Man for me is really taking the time out to enlighten yourself and to find out where it is that you want to be and where it is that you want to go as well. And with these 2 cards in reverse, it's really saying not only do you not necessarily know what it is that you want to pursue or go towards, because you don't have that clarity or feel like you could, but you're also not giving yourself the time away from your current circumstance in order to figure things out and to decide what you could go towards, So moving on with the Empress, that's why, because with her in reverse, this is saying maybe you're not as confident, as your spirit guides might like you to be. Maybe you worry about the little things, or you're a little bit insecure. There's nothing that you should worry about here. You are someone who is very beautiful / handsome. You are someone who is very intelligent, and someone who's very spiritual, someone who is very wise as well. And they see you as someone who is very self-reliant. So I think that maybe your spirit guides, it boggles their mind a little that you don't see yourself this way, or that you don't really feel comfortable enough to step forward and say, hey, I actually want this, as opposed to what I'm doing right now or what I'm doing currently. Maybe even for some of you, it would require changing university or going and doing a completely different career. But whatever pulls you and makes you really happy, and it's something that you could wake up and do every day, hey, more power to you. I really, really am encouraging you to do that. And to do whatever makes you feel really happy and really great. But definitely, I feel like, you lack a little bit of clarity and a little bit of understanding here, whether that be on yourself, which I feel like to some extent it might be, especially, with this card here. Maybe take some time to really spend it in nature and really love yourself as well. Because here's the thing, you want to be in harmony with yourself. You want to be in harmony as well, since it's a 3, with your mind, your body, and your spirit. You want to have all of those together so that you're utilizing them all to the fullest extent and in a very balanced way as well. So you don't want to be in this energy of self-doubt, or this energy of, well, I don't really know what I want. I don't really know what's going on either. I just feel like this very lost sort of an energy, which I totally understand. That is something that everyone goes through, so don't beat yourself up over it. Don't get too frustrated either. And that's why I'm giggling about it, because everyone has these moments. Everyone kind of has this moment of, but where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to be? And you really have to understand here, after all of these cards of saying maybe you don't have the clarity, or you're not willing or comfortable enough to speak up or, to be yourself and to really shine. This is saying that you're going to feel very renewed all of a sudden. You're going to have to make the decision, first of all, with it being the Two of Rods, to really go forward and pursue what it is that you want to go towards. So you're really going to have to also make the decision of, well, I'm going to love myself, and maybe even to spite that little bit of yourself that says, hey, I can't do it, say, no, I can do it. I can do anything that I want. I can do anything that I set my mind to. You have the whole world in your hands here. And that's what your spirit guides are so desperately trying to tell you, is that you can achieve anything in this lifetime as long as you set your mind and your intentions to it. And I think that you have a little bit of a hard time believing that, or you have a hard time trusting, and you struggle with that a little bit. You're kind of like, well, I don't know. People have been cruel to me in the past. Maybe people have even said kind of rude things to you that have made you kind of lower your self-confidence in yourself. Don't listen to that anymore. Who you are today is completely different from who you are 5 minutes ago, or who you were even yesterday or 3 weeks ago or 5 years ago. You change every day. You change every minute. You're constantly aging. You're constantly growing. So don't let yourself be defined by who you were in the past or who people thought you were in the past. Because the majority of the time, the people who are saying these things, they don't know you. They're just trying to get a rise out of you. They're trying to bring you down to their level because they're also missing something, or they're also feeling this lack of clarity or lack of understanding. They're feeling just as much in the Empress reverse as you are, And it's kind of like they might cover that up by saying cruel things to you or to other people in order for them to have the upper hand or to one-up people. But that's really not right. And it's up to you to really kind of take the bull by the horns, or the unicorn by the horn, I guess you could say. And with that, go towards the things that you really want to pursue. Because you're really going to feel very, very renewed, very passionate, and kind of say to yourself, hey, I can do anything. And that's really the overall message that I'm feeling from your guides, is you can go anywhere. It's just kind of your own limitations, maybe even in your own mind, with these people, saying these kind of rude things, or even just keeping yourself in these tough situations, or not letting yourself have that meditative time or that time outside of your house. Really allow yourself to have that. Spend time in nature and just nourish yourself. Just take care of yourself and go towards your goals. I'm really feeling when you're done with this pile, I know I keep saying it, go to stack 1, because, with this card especially, it's really saying go plan what you want to go towards. So for your next card and your last card before we go on to your tea leaf tarot cards, we have the Prince of Pentacles. So yeah, it's basically your guide saying that as long as you are staying very stable, you're staying very balanced as well, you can go towards whatever it is very in a fun way, and very swift as well. It might take a little bit of time, but once you get the ball rolling, it's really going to be very, very easy. And it's going to almost seem a little bit easier than you originally thought it might be as well. But you're going to be very analytical about it, and it might even do you a world of good to make a little bit of a game plan, or to even make a vision board or something along those lines, just so that you know what it is that you're striving towards. Really be honest with yourself and have an honest conversation with yourself as well about where it is that you want to go. Whether that be with career or university, or even with love, because for some of you, maybe even with pursuing love, maybe you're always looking for that really peaceful relationship, but you're really having to understand now, I'm giving myself all that love. I have to love myself first, and I have to look after myself first, as opposed to finding someone who is going to love me and bring me that acceptance and bring me that kind of care as well. I have to provide that for myself in a sense. So yeah, so moving on to your tea leaf tarot cards, we have Dolphin. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Woohoo! Okay, so yeah, you reap what you sow, and you're really going to understand, hey, I'm very successful. I'm someone who is going to have a lot of offers. Yeah, with the 7 of Cups, with that dragonfly energy, you're someone who's very playful. Dolphins are very playful as well. You're very happy. You're very excitable, and your guides want you to be in that energy, because there's going to be a lot of blessings coming in and a lot of financial successes. And it might even be a new career. For some of you, you might even be given a new like a new opportunity or something, I feel like. But make sure that you're really meditating and you're really kind of putting the intention out to the universe as well. Like if you want to become a veterinarian, put it out there. Say like, hey, I want to finish my veterinarian classes and then pursue that. Really put it in depth inside your God box or inside of your journals as well. So moving on, we have rat, someone working against you behind your back. Oh my goodness. So for some of you, it might be like, I'm feeling like a coworker. But for some of you, it might just be like a friend or someone just working behind the scenes, someone who's kind of unsavory, someone who's a little ridiculous at times as well. Tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. But whatever it is, you're going to be feeling so good from this financial gain and from all of the sort of manifestations that you're bringing in, all the happiness you're bringing in, that's not going to bother you. You might even be invited out to get-togethers, invited out to events as well, and it's going to be a time for really, really good fun and kind of hanging out with your friends as well. Handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important. Oh my goodness. So yeah, especially with the handshake, it makes me think of like a business dealing, but you could definitely be meeting someone new, whether this be like romantic, hey, it could be, or maybe it'll definitely be like, it'll just be someone who's very, very important. Someone who's going to be very instrumental, like not instrumental. You know what I mean? It's not instrumental though. No, I can't think of the word. Oh my gosh. But yeah. So going forward, we have spear, heartache over what you no longer have. Oh, yeah. So it might be that while one door closes, another one opens. Ooh, yeah. So it's like one person is being a little bit sneaky. Okay. One person's being a little bit sneaky here, right? One person is trying to kind of pull one over on you or maybe even pull the wool over your eyes, right? And while one person is also going to kind of make friends with you, but it's like, oh my gosh, while this new person is in your life, you might kind of miss the old people in your life or a past relationship or maybe even this person who is talking behind your back or like working behind your back even. Let's see. Let's continue forward and see. So we have lobster, financial pinch. Okay. Just going to go through and then we will go over them at the end. Not unsuccessful plans. Okay. Door, opportunities are waiting for you. Oh my goodness. I said when one door closes, another one opens. And victory in some endeavor. Hold on. Okay. So it's almost like for a while you're going to experience a little bit of a financial pinch. You're going to maybe even experience a little bit of money loss. It isn't going to be a lot. It isn't going to be anything that you have to worry about. Maybe you're just going to feel like, is it going to get better? Are things going to kind of come around in the end? And they are, it's just going to feel like for now things are a little bit unsuccessful and things are a little bit stagnant. Like things just aren't going to go right. But if you keep at it and you're really going towards everything with this feeling of, I'm very successful, I'm very abundant, I'm offered new opportunities all the time, I have the world in my hands. As long as you come forward with that sort of a vibe, you can accomplish anything and there will be great victory in some endeavor. You will be very, very feeling very successful, very happy. And you're going to just feel like every door that is closed is in order to make room for all of the doors that are opening currently. And it's going to feel very renewing. It's going to feel like all of the heartbreak and the heartache has been sort of worth it in a sense, because you're having something so much better than you could have even imagined, and you're going to have a lot of celebration, fun, and enjoyment, especially with having a little bit of financial gain. But I also want to tell you, like, if you're working in the field of like maybe hobbies, maybe you make something creatively and sell it online or like on Etsy, things ebb and flow that way, and business always ebbs and flows. So don't let it get you down too much, especially if you have a little bit of like a dry spell. Some businesses have like a little bit of off months. It isn't uncommon, especially here in Colorado, for like businesses all around to just sort of close their doors in the wintertime. So don't get too frustrated. There's going to be a lot of victory and a lot of happiness. And sometimes when things close, it doesn't have to be forever, like I was saying, it's only temporary. It'll reopen in the summer. That isn't just going for your career or for your university. This is also going for your friendships and your relationships as well. Let people grow, let people evolve, and let people kind of go, and grow into who they want to become. I'm so sorry. I'm so tongue-tied today. Oh my goodness. I feel like maybe the people in this pile with the Empress in reverse, you have to work with your words, and especially the Page of Swords in reverse. Oh my goodness. You know, you guys have a little bit of a hard time expressing how you're feeling, or maybe even opening up to people, and maybe even public speaking. So maybe that is even what's going to be a little bit of unsuccessful plans is, you know, you're really realizing is, hey, I can't do public speaking unless I feel really good about myself, or unless that, you know, I don't mind if I'm going to mess up in a sense. You know, I'm going to just laugh at myself and continue on because I'm very victorious, I'm very passionate, and I'm very happy. You know, if people are going to make fun of me for it, that's fine. You know, that's on them. That's their bad karma. That's their bad juju, but they have to worry about that on their own. That's not up to you to worry about. You know, door after door is going to open. You're going to be given opportunity after opportunity, and you're going to have so many offers on the table, especially with this dragonfly energy. You see that? You know, you're going to feel very, very abundant. So you don't have anything to worry about. Just make sure that you're staying very positive during this time and really focusing on the things that nourish you and nourish your soul and bring a lot of happiness. That's really like my biggest suggestion in this pile. And really work on clearing your throat chakra, you know, especially if you have a little bit of a hard time expressing yourself or expressing how you're feeling or being vulnerable with other people. Really open up, you know, it isn't a bad thing to mess up. You know, even the smartest people on earth mess up, and that is completely okay. It's because we're human, and that's completely normal. So just be gentle on yourself as well, and really know that the world is your oyster. Take the unicorn by the horn and get out there and achieve your dreams. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this stack too. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and also a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Also, subscribe if you have not already. You can also hit the little bell icon for a notification every time that I upload a new video. Also, all my links are in the description box down below, my Patreon, Etsy, and everything else if you want a personal reading or if you just want to donate to my PayPal. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next pick card. Bye! Hello to everyone who picked stack 3. Let's get right into your reading and see what do your spirit guides want you to know. So starting off with your first card, this is your messenger oracle card, and we have number 42, show that you care. So I absolutely adore this card because we have this woman who's sitting on the ground and she's reaching out to this dragon and she's petting him, you know, and she had to have quite a bit of vulnerability to be able to do this. That's something that's a little bit intimidating. It's a little bit scary, especially with this large dragon, you know, but when she puts in the effort and when she shows that she cares about this dragon, it's really received well, and she notices that new doors that she never thought would open are suddenly opening to her. So really make the effort in a relationship, especially if you have a good feeling about asking someone out or maybe even giving them your number. Don't be feeling so scared about it. You know, this person isn't going to attack you. At most, they're just going to say like, hey, no, I don't want your number, but I think it's going to be well received, especially with this dragon here, you know, who is just so peaceful in this situation. And with it being number 42, it equals out to 6, which is very much this number of abundance. It's this number of, you know, it's coming right after 5, which is a change, sometimes even a divine change, and it's just abundance. You're happy now, you know, you're feeling accustomed to the change, you're really getting used to it, and that's how this relationship with this person is going to be. You know, it might feel a little bit scary to get to know them or to kind of put yourself out there and say, hey, you know, I'd really like to get to know you, I'd like to be your friend, I just really like you, and that might be a little bit scary, it might be a little intimidating, but know that what you put in is what you are going to get out as well. You know, it's going to be well received too. So don't worry about it, and even if it isn't, it's going to really be amazing that you have been able to conquer your fears and go towards this person and to say like, hey, I really like you and I'd really like to take you on a date, or I'd like to go out with you or hang out sometime. And moving on, oh my gosh, to your next card, this is your angel therapy card. Twin flame. Oh my gosh. So maybe that's why they're saying show that you care. Tell this person you like them, because maybe this is a really good opportunity to have a really deep, soulful connection. Maybe this is a twin flame connection or a twin flame relationship. You know, it's something that's very spiritual and it's something that's very deep to the both of you. Maybe you guys are just going to instantly know, like the minute you guys look at each other, and it's going to feel so inspiring. It's almost like you want to just go forward and say like, hey, I really like you. I really want to get to to know you even. Because for some of you, you might even just be meeting this person. Maybe you know them from like a work setting or even like a university setting, but I definitely feel like you know them, and with this little thing down below, it says the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. Oh my goodness. So, this is definitely a divine connection. You guys might have even known each other in past lives, and that's especially true if you guys are twin flames. How beautiful is that? But you are going to have the opportunity to have a really divine, really deep spiritual connection here. And, so it's really saying if you don't show that you care, if you aren't kind of being open to the fact of like putting yourself out there as well or taking risks, it's not necessarily saying that this isn't going to happen, but, it might be that you need to kind of get the ball rolling and you have to put everything into effect because maybe your twin flame also likes you, and they're just kind of like, does this person like me? And they're just worried because they're coming at you like this big dragon, right? And you're this beautiful lady on the ground, maybe even like as a man, maybe you're still this beautiful lady on the ground, right? And they just see you as this amazing, incredible, unique being, and they're coming at you like this big dragon. And they don't want to scare you off. They don't want to come off too strong, but on your end, you're also mirroring them. And you're just kind of like, oh my goodness, I don't want to scare this person off. Even though they're coming off as this big dragon, there's someone that intimidates you, not necessarily intimidates you a little bit, but makes you feel like your palms are sweaty and you have butterflies in your stomach and you're just so happy to be in their presence as well. So I think that that's so beautiful. So just make sure that you are being very open with, saying that you care about them and, just being very transparent and very authentic in this relationship too. Don't hold in your feelings and don't hold in your thoughts as well. Know that you are divinely protected, especially in this relationship. Your spirit guides and your past loved ones are all looking after you and you have nothing to worry about here. So moving forward onto your Sacred World card, we have Crocodile. I love this card. So this is talking all about, have a little bit more tenacity. Go out there and get what it is that you want. Don't be so nervous, don't be kind of dragging your feet either. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little scary, but sometimes the greatest things in life require the biggest effort and they require the biggest risk. So really go towards it and don't I don't want to say don't be a stick in the mud, but lighten up a little bit. Don't worry. You are divinely protected because the crocodile also represents protection because it talks about Sobek from Egyptian mythology and how he would kind of protect, his followers and his worshipers from these crocodiles, and that's really what they believe there. Is, we will be completely protected in whatever we are doing because we have this blessing. And that's what the universe and your spirit guides are really saying is that you are protected. Think of it as, you are protected by the universe. You are going to be able to achieve your endeavors and have a really loving, really wonderful union and connection. As long as you trust and you believe and you can go out there and have that tenacity. You can kind of be like the crocodile, and go after the things that you really, really want and achieve them. And I love this, especially this mythology. I love Egyptian mythology. Maybe you guys could even bond over that. Maybe you guys will really love bonding over different stories or, even different movies or different music. But you guys are really going to understand each other. So don't worry about it. Don't feel like you're coming out, don't feel like you're coming at them as a stranger or as a weirdo, I guess in a sense, because they're really going to understand you and they're going to understand the vibes that you give off as well. And your spirit guides are, they're not going to lead you astray. You're always protected here. And just make sure that you're keeping your healing in mind, even with this relationship. Because, with a twin flame relationship, your healing never stops. You're always healing, you're always changing, and you're always still evolving. So make sure to just continue to keep that in mind, even as you pursue this really divine spiritual union. So moving on to your Secrets of the Mystic Grove card. I almost forgot for a minute. We have number 1, Awakening. Oh my goodness. Attraction, beginning, newness, and communing. Okay, so here's the deal. With this relationship, I feel like the two of you are really going to be awakening very spiritually as well. You guys are going to kind of tap into that spiritual side of yourselves and really dive into this relationship. I think that you guys might even get flashes of when you might have known them in a past life or just really connect with them. You can even feel them in your presence. You can feel them in your energy space. And maybe even your partner is someone who is unawakened. So this relationship is going to be something that really wakens them up. You know, it's going to wake them up like a friend, like shaking them awake and saying, hey, you know? And they're going to suddenly realize, like, wow, I have this divine connection right in front of me. And maybe they're not even going to know what to do with it. You know, maybe it's going to scare them a little bit because it's going to be so new for the both of you. But there's going to be such a strong, intense attraction. It's going to be like you guys can't keep your hands off of each other. You know, the songs, you know, keep my hands to myself or whatever, keep your hands to yourself. That is coming up to my mind. Like, you guys just can't keep your hands off of each other. You guys love each other so very much too. And there's definitely that attraction there. You guys think each other are very attractive, very good looking. You guys have very, very nice laughs as well. I think that you guys feel very, the laughter is very contagious, and the same with the smiles. But for some of you, it's going to be very new. It's going to be a completely different experience than anything you've ever experienced before. It's going to be very different from other relationships as well. You know, especially soulmate connections or just, you know, connections with people. It's going to be completely different from this relationship because this is going to feel so strong. It's going to feel so overpowering at times as well. So make sure that you're also continuing to heal and continuing to just sort of focus on your own self-love as well. Don't let this kind of be the end all be all, because for some people, you know, the twin flame relationship can kind of feel like the end point, you know, but we have so much more that we have to achieve and that we have to go towards. And that's really, especially going with awakening, is that this is the beginning of a cycle. It's not the end of one. You know, you might feel like, hey, you know, I got the cat in the bag, you know, I have everything that I need. But it's really saying that, you know, you're at the beginning of your cycle. With you guys together, it's going to feel like a completely new partnership, and it's going to feel like you guys can tackle anything together. So it's going to be a really beautiful connection, you know, and for some of you, it might even be a new person that you meet into your life. You know, it might even be someone that you meet and you're like, oh my goodness, I've known this person before. I've known them for so long. But like, realistically, you've only known Dave for like 5 minutes, right? But moving on to your animal totem cards, these are going over energies that your spirit guides want you to have in the situation. So we have Temperance and the Nine of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So the Temperance card is really saying to have patience, that good things come to those who wait, especially if you were dealing with someone who is a little bit of a runner, you know, especially in twin flame relationships, we can tend to have someone who is all in and someone else who is like, you know, and then they leave and they run away. And that's just because of the high intensity of the relationship, the high attraction as well. Sometimes it's easier for people to be in soulmate connections and soulmate relationships because it isn't as high intensity as that. It isn't this feeling of you guys want to, you know, constantly be hanging out, or, you know, you guys are knowing what each other are feeling. And that can be a little maddening in itself, especially if you aren't someone who is used to being kind of an empath. It can be a little frustrating to suddenly feel like, why am I feeling this person's emotions? You know, so that might even be how your partner has felt, or how you might even feel at times. But with Temperance, it's really saying remain balanced, remain grounded in yourself and in your healing, but also have patience that everything is going to work out perfectly and in a way that makes sense and in a way that, you know, is appropriate as well for this relationship. It's really going to go in divine timing, and everything's just going to work out the way that it's supposed to. You have to believe that, especially with the Nine of Pentacles, because this is saying you're going to have a very amazing wish fulfillment soon. It's going to be something that is beyond your wildest dreams. And yeah, we have this tortoise energy, so it's like slow and steady wins the race. It's not the fastest energy. Both the flamingo and the tortoise are not the fastest energies, but they definitely get the job done, and they always come out on top. You know, they're always especially with the tortoise winning the race against the hare, you know, maybe all of your friends have looked like the hare. Maybe they're all in relationships, maybe they're in marriages, or they're engaged to be married. And for you, it's just sort of like you've waited around for something in a relationship, and also someone who is going to be a perfect match for you, you know, and because you've put in the time and because you've trusted and really said, you know what, hey, I'm going to not settle for someone less than what I deserve, you're going to have this wish fulfillment now, and you're going to have ultimate happiness. You're going to have a lot of good abundance and good fortune coming into your life with this, and it's going to be very stable. It's going to feel very steady as well, especially if you're not used to having a connection that's very steady or stable. If you've had relationships where maybe your partner has kind of strayed or betrayed you, this is definitely not what the relationship is going to be like. You guys are going to be on the same wavelength. You guys are going to kind of understand how the other operates as well, and what makes the two of you sad and what makes you guys happy, so that you guys can have boundaries and really set them. Because I'm being drawn to this wall, and it's kind of like, there are going to be times where you guys have to set boundaries, but I think that that's normal for any relationship. Just know that you're very protected, the two of you, in this connection, and everything that's going to happen is for your highest good. So moving on to your next 4 cards, we have Temperance again. Oh my goodness. So remain patient. Good things come to those who wait. And I feel like that's like the big saying in the twin flame community, because especially those with runners, it can tend to be a little bit of a struggle, so make sure that you just have patience, that you have that kind of temperance energy, because Temperance is really all about the angels working behind your back and like really helping you in this situation. They're trying to mix the two of you together, the two of you guys' cups of love. And, it's like maybe you've even had relationships where it's been like oil and water have been trying to be mixed together. So now the angels are like, yes, finally 2 same water types. Like, maybe before it was like trying to mix Pepsi even with like Dasani or something. And now it's like there's 2 bottles of Dasani and your guides are like, yes! And they're so excited about it, because it's not going to be like a watered down soda at this point in terms of a relationship. But moving on, we also have the 7 of Swords in reverse. Oh my goodness, yes. So people aren't going to be deceiving you in this relationship. Followed by the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Woohoo! Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles, there's definitely stable new beginnings and an offer in the horizon, or like coming soon to a theater near you, twin flame union. But it's going to be literally epic. It's going to be something that's maybe even like a little outrageous, like it's going to just be like out of nowhere, and you're going to be like, wow, I really don't know if I even want to live without this person in my life. But you guys are both going to stay very independent, which I really, really love, especially with this Queen of Pentacles. You guys are very nurturing, and your guides want you to stay in that nurturing, caring energy throughout this, because your twin flame and your partner who you're going to be with, who you're going to share this very spiritual union with, they aren't going to deceive you. Like, yeah, it's going to take a while, especially with all the pentacles here. Pentacles are not fast. That's not fast energy. That's very much kind of earth energy of letting things grow. It's sort of like watering a patch of grass every day after just planting seeds and waiting for it to grow. And then finally it grows and you're like, oh, it's here, and you're like, why was I worried? And that's really how this relationship is going to be like. It's going to be so steady and so stable, and something that can really kind of sustain the two of you for many years to come. It's going to be something that you're both very satisfied in as well, especially with this Queen of Pentacles, because she's someone who is very confident in themselves, who knows what she wants. And, she's very independent in herself. She's very successful, and she's financially abundant as well. But she's also very motherly and very caring. So I feel like you guys are going to have a very good time communicating and a good time really understanding where the other is coming from. But there is going to be an offer soon, whether that be from you. Maybe you are going to even ask them, because you're going to see like, hey, this person isn't going to treat me bad. And if they do treat me bad, this person probably isn't my twin flame, and they probably aren't, even a spiritual connection. They probably aren't worth my time, to be honest. It's kind of like finding who is the oil to your water, and then just saying, okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Bye. Maybe not that drastically, but you're going to go towards things that are going to benefit you and are going to be that successful relationship in the long run. Because perhaps you really want like a marriage or like a really deep connection or a family connection here. And maybe they do too, but it's kind of like in the past you couldn't settle. And this is the reason why you couldn't settle. This person here is the reason why you couldn't settle, or why you haven't found someone to be with yet. Because they're going to literally be that person that just understands you on such a deep emotional level. You guys are just going to jive together so good, and it's going to be such a lovely relationship. So it's something to definitely be excited about, and to know that it's not going to be bad. with the Seven of Swords in reverse, it's really saying it's not going to be bad. This person isn't going to deceive you. They aren't going to try to get away with things. They aren't going to cheat you. And if they do, this person they aren't meant for you. And you deserve someone so much better. There's someone better in your cards, and someone in your future who is going to be very nurturing, very caring, and very receptive to your love as well. So moving forward onto your second to last card, I suppose, because then we're going to cover your tea leaf tarot cards. But we have the World card. So this is number 21. So I love this card because this is really talking about divine changes and, changes even in the season as well. Changes that we really needed. Changes that will breathe a new atmosphere of life as well into our world, if you will. But with change, it can be a little kind of scary. It can be a little unnerving. And especially with that Show You Care card, it can be a little scary to open up to people and say like, hey, I care about you. I want to take care of you. I want us to go on vacations together. I want us to go to Harry Potter World together, But you have to have ultimately like a lot of patience here because it's going to come. You're going to have this divine change and this divine relationship. It's just all about timing. And I feel like the main message in all of these stacks that I've done is timing, is that everyone seems to struggle with, well, when is, everything going to pay out, or when are things going to be steady, or this or that. And it's like divine timing has a plan for everyone, and there is definitely a timeline for everyone, so don't worry about it. Just trust in the universe and trust in your spirit guides and your angels as well. Because they're very much trying to find this perfect person for you, and they're trying to mix you guys' cups, but maybe there's still a little bit more growing on both of you guys' sides before you guys can fully come together if you haven't met this person. But if you have met this person, and you want to ask them out or you want to give them your number, go for it. I don't think that this person is going to be cruel to you. I don't think that they're going to make you the butt of a joke or anything along those lines. I think that this person is very understanding, just like you. They're very compassionate and they have a very big heart. So don't worry about it. There's a lot of good that's going to come from this and a lot of stability as well. And I think that they'd really appreciate how upfront you were and how straightforward, because there's someone who's very nervous. So moving on to your tea leaf tarot cards, we have dogs, getting together with friends. So you could be having a lot of get-togethers, maybe even some celebrations or some parties. Maybe that's even where you're going to meet this person. Maybe you meet this person through your friends, or maybe your friends are going to help you kind of come up with a creative way to ask this person out or to give them your number. Moving on, we have grapes. It says time to go out and have fun. Oh my goodness, I love this. And hey, go out and have fun with your friends. Spend time with your friends. This might be where you meet this person. And how fun of a story would it be to tell people like, hey, yeah, I met my future spouse like when I was hanging out with, my friends, and we were hanging out, maybe playing laser tag or something. I don't know, but definitely go out and have fun. Don't stay cooped up inside, because that's not necessarily how you're going to meet this person. I mean, maybe you meet this person on a Discord server, but even then that's getting together with friends, and that's kind of leaving your comfort zone. That's going online, and that's meeting other people. So really make sure to just put yourself out there is kind of what I'm saying. We also have kangaroo, unsettled times and need to plan ahead. So even though we are kind of seeing this twin flame relationship and this connection and this union, your angels are still saying to focus on your own goals. Keep planning, keep making plans, and plan for yourself as well. You don't have to incorporate this person into every single plan that you do. It probably would be nice eventually to say like, hey, I'm going to Universal. Would you like to go with me? But you don't have to schedule this person or, into everything or change your life around for this person, because, this is someone who's really understanding. So don't worry about it. But just continue to keep making plans for yourself and going towards the things that you really want to achieve. Don't let this relationship sort of be the end all be all. Let yourself have more goals and more kind of paths in life as well. So next we have forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Okay, so this might even be in regards to when it comes to asking this person out or asking this person out on a date. It might be a little bit muddled and it might be a little bit scary to where you're like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I'm going to ask this person out or not, and it might even be that throughout this time, maybe you're even worried, like, oh my gosh, what if this person doesn't like me? What if my friends don't like me? I think that you're just sort of, you overanalyze things and you're a little bit of a worrywart, which I totally get. I'm a worrywart too. That's completely okay. But just understand that you are protected, especially with that sort of Sobek, crocodile energy. You're very protected right now. So going forward, we have frying pan, trouble and accusations. Okay, so don't jump to conclusions. Definitely don't jump to conclusions because, if you add a little bit of water to a frying pan with oil in it, it's just going to go all over the place. It's going to be spittering and spattering, and it's just going to be bad. So really make sure that you're upfront with people and you don't just jump to conclusions and you don't just assume things either. So moving on, we have wishbone. A wish is granted. So that might even be this relationship, but I feel like there's going to be some profound, very big wish for you. Maybe even some of you are moving or moving into a new home that you're really excited about, but it's going to feel like a wish fulfillment. Oh my goodness. We had that here. Okay, so look at that. Double clarification that you are going to have a wish fulfilled, whether that be this year, next year, 5 years from now, it doesn't matter. You're going to have a wish fulfillment, and I think that is so beautiful. But the divine still wants to keep it a little bit of a secret. They don't want to tell you, like, right off the bat, like, hey, this is going to happen in January 2020. Like, they don't want to tell you that, They want you to be excited so that you aren't just, like, waiting around with bated breath and just planning for this person. They want you to continue on with your own goals and with your own dreams and going out with your friends and having a good time. So moving forward, we have woman, dealings or a relationship with a woman. Okay, so some of you, you might make new friends with a woman. You might start dating a woman, maybe you meet a nice new woman and you guys start dating or start a nice relationship. But I definitely feel like there's going to be an influential woman in your life. Maybe they even help you to hook up with this twin flame. Maybe it's their family or maybe it's yours. Maybe it's even a friend, but there is going to be a woman that is very influential in your life for some of you. Yeah. Okay. So we have moon, changes in your life. And especially since it comes after woman, maybe this woman is going to help bring a change into your life for the better. But there's definitely going to be big changes. And it might feel a little scary, but don't worry about it. Everything is going to happen the way that it's supposed to and in a really awesome way. And flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. So maybe that's why woman is here. Maybe it's related to a woman friend. But, hey, disappointments happen every now and again. As long as you are upfront with this person and kind of tell them, say, hey, you disappointed me when you told me you'd buy me a milkshake and then you bought everyone a milkshake except me. And you even bought like Steven a milkshake and you don't even like him. Like, you know what I mean? Just different things like that. Be upfront with people. Be like, well, why did you do this? Like, why did you say that to me? Why did you block me off of Instagram? People have the right to block whoever they want, but I think that they also, the shoe is on the other foot to where the other person can also ask and say, well, why did you do this? They have more than every right to say, well, why, And I think it's up to you to really say to people like, you're overstepping my boundaries, or, maybe you just really disappointed me and it's not going to work out as much as I thought it would. But I definitely feel like there's going to be a little bit of heavier energies, so don't let yourself get too overwhelmed. It's all just part of this big divine change, and it's all going to happen in, divine timing, in the right time and in the right way. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this stack 3. Oh my goodness, there is so much good stuff coming to you, even though we did have quite a bit here, but I definitely feel like you guys are going to have such a life-changing relationship as well, and you guys are still going to be focusing on your goals, which is so great. Make sure to keep focusing on your friends as well and your family members, and focus on the good as opposed to the bad. Don't worry about what's not going right, about what might be unsettled or what might make you feel a little anxious. Don't worry about that. Focus on the things that bring you a lot of happiness and, rely on your friends as well. But if there's someone, maybe even a woman in your life that you're a little disappointed in, go towards them and say, look, Laura, I'm a little disappointed in you. You go up to her, you say, look, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little sad. I'm a little confused, and you just lay it out all on the table for her. There you go. Good enough. But yeah, you just lay it all out there for her and say like, hey, this is where I'm coming from. And if you can vibe with that, then that's cool, but if you can't, then I don't know if I want to continue or, being your friend or what have you. But definitely do whatever you feel in your heart is right, because you're going to have this Nine of Pentacles, this amazing wish fulfillment. Oh my goodness, it's going to be incredible. And you're going to feel like, why did I even worry? I know I said that earlier, but it's just going to feel like that all across the board. It's going to be like, there was nothing I needed to worry about. You know, I have everything in my lap, just in the bag. I'm good. But definitely let me know what you thought, Stack 3. Thank you so much for watching this, and please leave a comment down below if you enjoyed, as well as a like. Oh my goodness, I like hearing back from you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I hope you are having a beautiful day or night, depending on when you are watching this. It's a little bit dark because I have my window open, so I think I'm going to go back to my regular lighting in the next video and not have my window open. But definitely, I hope that you had a beautiful day, and all my links are in my description box down below as well if you want to check them out. Link to my Patreon, my PayPal for donations, and also my Etsy if you want a personal reading. And yeah, I will see you in the next pick a card, and I hope you are doing amazing. Bye!